Week 4's got to wait. We start with baseball. The Indians need a win, and they need some help from the Yankees. We start in the top of the first in Jacobs Field, and Jermaine Dye, who has been through this with the Braves and the A's, puts the White Sox ahead with his 31st of the year, 1-0 Chicago. Kurt Schilling, meanwhile, in Boston, he sees that Yankee hat, and it brings out the best in him. He strikes out Tino, went 6 innings, 3 Ks, 1 earned. We go back to Cleveland, where they're down 3-0. Victor Martinez, though, with a double, brings in Travis Hafner. Tribe trying to come back, but again, they need to win, and they need Boston to lose. That wasn't going to happen because Big Papi continues to pile onto his MVP candidacy with another RBI, scoring Tony Graffinino, and then it's Sunday, and Manny Ramirez has been to church. Number 45 just crushed to center. Gives Boston a 6-0 lead. And minutes later in Cleveland, they post that, and Indians fans and the Jake realize that though it's been a valiant run that saw their team win 40 of 53 games, it's not going to work out the way they hoped. Bottom 9, Grady Sizemore, a little dribbler, and he's out at first, and really their season all fell apart a week ago Sunday when he lost that ball in the sun. He had such a good year. So did the Indians. They will continue to be part of the playoff picture, you would imagine, for years to come. And when they post this in Boston, that loss means you can cue the Johnny Drama. Final victory! They're going back to the playoffs. John Henry's happy. Manny and David are happy. Let's put on the goggles and bust out the Champipple.
So 162-game season, there's ups and downs. And, you know, playing here, the ups are higher and the downs are lower just because of the way things are handled here.
We've had a lot of adversity on this team. Things hadn't been easy. Hadn't had any real easy stretches. Teams are tougher.
We pitched very well. We just didn't scratch out any runs, and we created opportunities for ourselves. We were just one hit short again today. I mean, that was really the story, for the week.
Obviously, we came up 1 game short, but for as much as these guys have fought and that I've played with this year, my hat's off to them, and they got all my respect in the world.
Hats off right back at you. Cleveland cannot hang their heads. As for the playoffs, it's a battle of the Sox, red and white for the first time ever. Boston a slight edge, 4-3 in the season series. Yanks and Angels familiar with one another in the playoffs. Halos pummeled the Yanks in 0-2 on the way to their world title. They had a 6-4 edge over New York this year. Worth mentioning, it's the 45th postseason appearance for the Yankees. Unbelievable. Harold Reynolds, what do you got for me in these series?
When it comes to the American League, I'm looking at the Yankees and the Red Sox both winning their series, and I believe they'll both be in 4 games. The philosophy behind that is, I think with both starting on the road, they will split. The Red Sox in Chicago, the Yankees in Anaheim, and come back and sweep at home. They just play too well at home, and they're both playing their best baseball of the season right now.
So in the National League, 2 games, 1 wild card to be had. The Astros lead, but a Houston loss to the Cubs and Philly win over the Nationals would mean a Philly-Houston 1-game wild card playoff.
Very confusing.
It is. In D.C., top 4. Jimmy Rollins handling his business. Extends his hitting streak to 36 games, 9th longest ever, longest in the big since 1987. He'd later score in a sac fly, 1-zip Philly. In Houston, speaking of 87, Greg Maddux, who finishes with a losing record for the first time since 87, gives up a Mike Lamb single that drives in Morgan Insberg. Astros jump out to an early 2-zip lead. So let's go back to our nation's capital. Bottom 6. And Ryan Church on a Sunday. Church, and the Lord said you got to rise up. 9th home run of the year. Phillies lead cut to 5-3. 2 minutes later, back in H-Town. Top 5. Booyah! Michael Barrett off of Roy Oswalt off the foul pole, his 16th homer of the year. Oswalt trying to become the 2nd Astro pitcher to win 20 games in back-to-back seasons. Astros lead is cut to 3-1. Top 6, tie game. 2 out, Nefi Perez singles to right, scores 1. Cubs take a 4-3 lead. 3 minutes later, the 13 Philly fans in Washington find out the Cubs take the lead. Holler! 2 minutes later, in Houston, leading off the bottom of the 6th. Sick Tape Volume 2. Jason Lane takes Maddux out. Maddux has allowed 299 home runs in his career. 22% of those have been the last 2 years. Astros quickly answer back, tie the game at 4. Later in the inning, Jeff Bagwell pinch hitting. Possible double play. Perez throws it away. Adam Everett on his giddy-up all the way from first to score the go-ahead run. So we go back to Washington. Bottom 9, 2 out. Christian Guzman at the plate. Billy Wagner schools him. So Philly sweep the series. They do what they got to do. They win it 9-3, but they still need a Cubs comeback to force that one-game playoff. 3 minutes later, back in Houston. Top 9. Brad Lidge in the close after an error kept the inning alive. Jose Macias up with a tying run on second, 2 outs. Lines it. Eric Bruntlett, though, ball game. Stroh's first team since 1914 to make the playoffs after being as many as 15 games under 500. Astros wrap up the NL wild card. Phillies go home.
This team come from a long way. I mean, that was a big hurdle, 15 and 30. But, you know, the guys coming to work it and stay focused day in and day out. And now we're getting an opportunity to go back. So it just tells you a lot about the guys in this clubhouse.
It never gets old. You always celebrate this because you just don't realize it's so much work. And, you know, I'm just real proud of a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys came back from injuries, and we battled, and now we get a chance.
Managed to get it done when we had to do it. I just as soon finished it a couple of days ago, but I don't think the players had that in mind.
You know, I still think, you know, we should play Houston, you know, best out of 5. See who really gets the playoffs, but that's not the way it happens right now.
There are times that I wish we could have played like this early in the season, you know, games that we could have taken advantage of, that, you know, you could look back and like, man, you know, 1 game down, you know, 2 games in the last week that we could have made the difference.
Peep this, your NL matchups. The winningest team in the bigs, the Cardinals, go against the Padres. Padres tied the 73 Mets for fewest wins ever by a team to make the playoffs, 82, but San Diego did win the season series against the Cardinals 4-3. The other series, rematch of one of last year's division series. Astros beat the Braves in 5 games last year. Bravos won the season series this year 5-1. Steve Phillips, holla at a brother, man. Give me a playoff preview. Turn on ESPN Tuesday and just leave it there. Tuesday schedule, Padres St. Louis, 1 Eastern on ESPN. Jake Peavy, Chris Carpenter likely starters. The Red Sox trying to go wicked hard in Chi-Town. That follows at 4 Eastern on ESPN. Matt Clement against Jose Contreras. Contreras 8 straight wins. And at 8 Eastern, Yankees Angels in Anaheim. Mussina against Bartolo Colon.
Some of the memorable moments from Busch. 1968 World Series Game 1, Bob Gibson. World Series record 17 Ks against the Tigers. 82 World Series Game 7, back when they used to call him Fireman. Bruce Sutter records the final out. The Cardinals defeat the Brewers 6-3. NLCS Game 5, Ozzie Smith and the late, great Jack Buck on the mic.
It may go! Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
September 8th, 1998, Mark McGwire breaks Roger Maris's home run record, number 62. He would finish the season with 70. So they say they're the best fans in baseball out there in St. Louis, and this is the last time they would gather for a regular season game at Busch. Jet flyover beforehand. Jim Edmonds. Let me get some photos to remember this by. Chris Duncan would want to remember this. Son of Cardinals pitching coach Dave Duncan at the plate. That's his first home run in the major leagues, and Duncan had plenty to be proud of. That and the fact that his pitching staff won the NL ERA title for the first time since '69. The Cardinals lead it 6-5. After the 6th inning, Cardinals great Ozzie Smith on the field. Who else but Ozzie to remove the number? That's the last game. They won their 100th.
Braves already have the division. Can a 23rd win for Dontrelle Willis give him the Cy Young? Jack McKeon in the dugout for his last game. More on that in a little bit. Dontrelle just treating the Braves like dogs. Marcus Giles, stay. Chipper Jones, stay. Andrew Jones, sit. Career high 12 strikeouts for Dontrelle. Bottom 10, Juan Pierre. Big up, Reese Beckman. Base hit to right. Pierre had 5 hits. Josh Wilson scores. Fish wins 7-6. Dontrelle 7 innings, those 12 Ks, but did not get the decision. So voters have these numbers to ponder before making their vote for the NL Cy Young. Dontrelle's 22 wins, most in the bigs. His 5 shutouts, most in the bigs. Chris Carpenter's 21 wins and 4 shutouts, second to Dontrelle's. Carpenter faltered in September with an ERA in September 5.73. Mentioned McKeon earlier. He told the Marlins players before Sunday's game he was managing them for the last time. Jack McKeon led the team to the 2003 World Series title. After the game Sunday, he said, quote, "I was happy to win this one, go out on a winning style."
Mike Piazza done as a Met, quite a send-off from the Shea faithful. He said, "I was very humbled by these fans. I just feel like I'm one of the family." The Mets fans showing him love all day long. Bottom of the 6th, Mets down by 3 in a game that they just got punished in, but really the fans were there to see this guy. And 3 times he grounded out to the shortstop. No drama like the first game back after 9/11 and the 40 home run season his first year there. 3 curtain calls for the 37-year-old. He says, thanks, and I'll see you. Your National League Triple Crown winners. Derek Lee, the first Cub to win the batting title since Bill Buckner did it in 1980, hit .335. Flirted with the idea of the actual Triple Crown until Andrew Jones went berserk and hit 51 home runs. First Brave to win the home run title since Dale Murphy in 1985. Jones also wins the RBI crown with 128. No Brave had done that since Murphy pulled it off in 1983. Murphy was pretty good.
And as somebody once said, that's why they play all the games. When you have to play all 162 games before you settle who's going to the postseason, boy, baseball can be a beautiful thing. So a heavy bit of baseball as we start our top 10 plays of the week and say goodbye. Well, you'll see it in the postseason of 4 decades of baseball, of Cardinal baseball at Busch Stadium, and the current card players like Jimmy Edmonds and company taking pictures of all the members like the Bob Gibson and Lou Brock and, of course, Big Mac. But who was more popular than the Wizard of Oz? Ozzie Smith. There's 0 regular season games left. Play 9, a salute to a great pitcher for a long time. Tom Glavine became the 30th man ever to win 275 games. And he did it in complete game fashion in his final start of the year for the New York Mets. Catches all around. Let's start in pro football. In a losing effort, for every week it's Jimmy Smith walking the tightrope. This for the Jacksonville Jaguars, although they fell to the Broncos. In college football, you knew Charlie Weiss would take the job with a quarterback named Brady Quinn, but Jeff Samardzija, look at that play. He's not submerged, he's Samardzija as Notre Dame humbles Purdue. Baseball catches, we had plenty of those. Thanks to Craig Monroe, left fielder, Detroit Tigers. Tigers season long over, but don't tell him. Robbing the Mariners' Jose Lopez. And you think he has this territory down? Later in the week, against Juan Uribe of the division champion White Sox. And Monroe makes the grab at just about the same spot. Cleveland's Ronnie Belliard. What? How did he make that flip to Peralta? Amazing, no look, complete turn, and Peralta barehands it as well. Congratulations in Major League Baseball this past week. Tuesday night, the Atlanta Braves of Bobby Cox, John Sherholtz, the GM. And what a great job they've done. Amazing 14 straight division titles. They were winning the NL West when this started. The Los Angeles / San Juan Capistranos / Anaheim Angels. They could go to the World Series, folks. And say what you want about the record, but the Padres get in as well, and the Chicago White Sox, who earned, well, boy, did they earn a lot of respect by the way they played after they wrapped things up on Thursday and they went into Cleveland. But that's part of our top 5 plays of the week. Close game, and Domata Pecco, who says the big guys can't contribute. Pecco from Samoa, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. 74 yards to tie the game. A game that Michigan would eventually beat Michigan State in overtime. LaDainian Tomlinson, how about his running? As the Chargers crushed the Patriots in Foxborough, their first win at the Patriots since 1970 Harvard Stadium. Eli Manning, 4 touchdown passes for the G-Men. And Brother Peyton, 4 touchdown passes for the Colts, including one that made Marvin Harrison only the 3rd man to have 101 touchdown catches in his career. Jimmy Rollins, 36-game hitting streak. What a month of September and early October he had. But the Phillies won all the weekend, but the Astros win the wild card by 1 game. The drama in Boston was too much this week. Big Papi ties it, and on Thursday night he wins it in the 9th against the Blue Jays. Fenway, frenzy. They beat the Yankees Friday, but on Saturday against the Yankee killer Tim Wakefield, it was the big bats of Sheffield and Company, enabling New York to win an emotional 8th straight division title. But Sunday, the Red Sox were pouring champagne. They're postseason bound as well. but play one, they've really been nomadic. And the New Orleans Saints finally came to a place they now can at least call home. San Antonio's Alamo Dome. They're working there. They're living there now. And finally, they played a game there. The defense was outstanding. The fans supported them greatly. And Jason Kraft was part of the sailing done by the Saints as New Orleans, with everything going on, evens their mark at 2-2. They beat the Bills 19-7. It's not real home, but it is a home for the Saints. And folks from the Bayou could smile again. Good job, Jim Haslett and company.
Regular season. It's the top 10. That's what it is. Number 10, Detroit Tigers playing the Yankees back in May 25th. Short center field, will pop up. Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano go out, and Jeter, he's got it, jumps right over his man. Let's look at that again. 2-22, a lot of twos there. That's an out.
Number 9, Giants at the A's, June 25th. Pedro Feliz, short left, and here comes Eric Burns.
Oh, yes.
Full extension, and he sticks the landing. Another look at the replay. June 25th, Eric Burns. Thanks for playing.
Number 8, Angels, Yankees, April 26th. First game between these teams all season, and A-Rod goes crazy. 3 home runs. He drove in 10 that night. Hopes to get some more, and they take on the Angels in the division series.
Number 7, Amazing Mets in Seattle, June 18th. Raul Ibanez foul down the third base side. Here we go.
Is going into this fence, David Wright. I hope he's all right. He caught it. He caught the ball. David Wright.
He absolutely did. David Wright of the Mets into the crowd. And he's home.
You could fill an entire top 10 with just Mets moments. Number 6, Cubs Cardinals, July 22nd. David Eckstein, the walk-off squeeze bunt. You're a winner. Cards 2-1.
Eckstein, long ball, left field, grand slam, Cardinals win.
And then the man shows you he can go yard as well to walk off against the Braves.
Goes Yickety Yak. Number 5, September 28th, Devil Rays Tribe, Aubrey Huff up the middle. Ron Belliard diving stop and a flip to Johnny Peralta for the force. The Tribe, just a remarkable comeback to make a season of it until that final weekend. But as you can see, they had some great moments.
Good stuff. Number 4, Angels, Mariners, May 2nd. Go get it.
Field, Ichiro going back to the one. He tracked to the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, Ichiro climbing the wall in right field. Over the top of
Number 3, Big Papi hits it wicked foul.
payoff pitch. Big Papi hits it to deep right field. Ortiz hits it in the air to center field. Ortiz grounds it into left center. Here comes Damon. Here comes a win.
What a year for Big Papi. We'll see if he gets MVP.
Yeah, he's excellent. Number 2, Rockies and Pirates, July 22nd. Do you know Jack Wilson?
Up the middle. Oh, nice play. Did they get him? Oh, you're kidding me. You've got to be kidding on that play.
They have done it again.
That one tops them all.
Bartender. Number 1, more David Wright, play of the year.
A little broken bat, and oh, David Wright! What a play! Are you kidding? That may be the best I've ever seen.
That's a magnificent play, but